Aisha Kazmi.
Alfia ma'am,
Yes.
can you make somebody co-host today also?
Why?
Like this only.
Like this only? Okay.
Ma'am, this is
I'll
very
see. If
bad.
you'll behave, then I will. Okay?
Because when you think about it, that must have been the cause of the time slippage between our experience and that of the universe.
Ma'am, my birthday cake. Arey.
Your birthday what, Ibrahim?
Ma'am, I was sharing my birthday cake's photo. Ma'am, you know on Wednesday only it is coming.
Yes. And we don't have a class on Wednesday.
What? I know that.
We have fitness class.
Should we meet for Ibrahim's birthday party?
We have
We'll host an online birthday party for Ibrahim.
Ma'am, you know, ma'am.
another.
Ma'am,
Ma'am will send him WhatsApp. Ma'am will send him WhatsApp.
Ma'am,
Okay.
1 year is going to happen. You didn't give me the comic book till now.
I searched for it on Amazon. It is unavailable. Everything is
I know.
unavailable.
Ma'am, I
Every
just
part
told
of
you.
the Spider-Man comic book
I
is
told
unavailable.
you. मेरे को कुछ Imagika से दिला दो. Like you gave it to Abdullah, but you didn't listen. You told I will search. Promise.
Yes, I did search. What are you saying?
And last day of school, I told you, ma'am, I was supposed to tell you, ma'am, you didn't give me till now. But you
Oh, I
told,
remember.
shut up,
I remember.
go to the bus. But that was not the last day. You made a BTS tattoo. I didn't have it till now.
Okay.
Go
okay.
to the bus. But
Go
still
to
I
the
had
bus,
fun.
please. I don't speak like that. Anyway, all right. Hello and welcome everybody to the life skills session. And in the previous session, we've been learning about various artists, and we have done few activities of color mixing as well. So you can call yourself an amateur artist, okay? And hi, look at her. There she is.
Ma'am, I can't
Asma.
call myself an artist because I am the teacher.
Oh, he's the teacher. Oh, there he is, Hamza with his Alfia Sony. Okay.
Ma'am, I
Now,
can the whole day.
yes, I saw that. Okay. Now what, remember I gave you a task last time in the last class about the Last Supper? Who remembers? Come on, raise hand. Tell me who remembers. The Last Supper. And on the life skill class,
Ma'am, I
Google
renamed
Classroom-
myself as Hussein the artist.
Oh, MF Hussain, right? MF Hussain. Okay, so in life skill class on Google Classroom, only Mohammadi mentioned, and he said that, ma'am, Christ was crucified. Okay, so yes, that is a fact. So what did you search? Can you share your information? Yes, Jumeria, go ahead.
Ma'am, I forgot.
Ma'am, that Jesus people's sign is a cross because Jesus Christ was like he had nails in his hands, so because
Yes,
that
yes.
is their sign is a cross.
Yes, he was crucified on a cross. Crucified means he was attached, he was nailed onto the wooden cross. Okay, and that is where the Romans left him die. Okay, this is what the yes,
But he did die.
yes. There are two opinions.
But
So,
he didn't
so the
really die.
Mohammedans, the Muslims believe that Jesus Christ did not actually die, whereas the Christians in the Bible it is mentioned that he was crucified by the Romans. All right.
No, ma'am, that is wrong.
Yes, ma'am, that is wrong.
That's
why
their
did the
opinion. We cannot.
Arey,
As
stop
much as we know the
about
fact, we cannot really
Ma'am,
disregard
stop the
any other people's belief.
Ma'am, but
Stop the
ma'am,
religious
but
debate and listen to
Jesus
me.
are
Why
a-
did the Romans crucify Jesus?
Ma'am, it was painted in the 15th century.
Yes.
Why did the Romans crucify
The Romans
Jesus?
crucified Jesus because then the Romans were actually his enemies. Okay, so he
Ma'am,
was
the
going
Greek-
ahead. He was
the
going
Greek
ahead and spreading the word of God, saying them, asking them to believe, and asking them, showing them miracles and all, which they did not want to follow. So therefore, like how Musa alayhi salam's qawm gave him a lot of trouble, Similarly, the Romans were the ones who caused a lot of problems with Jesus Christ, and they wouldn't listen to him, they wouldn't believe him, they wouldn't follow him, except for his few disciples, okay, his few followers.
Ma'am, I
And
forgot the name with the
that's fine. That is completely okay. All right. And those disciples, Jesus Christ got to know, God told Jesus Christ that you will be crucified and one of you will go in hiding and one of your
And
disciples.
today is the day when
is-
someone from us will betray you. Enough.
Now, shall I speak? Thank you. Okay. So God had told Jesus Christ that Romans will crucify you and you will go in hiding, and one of your disciples amongst you will go and tell the Romans, he will betray you. All right. And that is when Jesus Christ, he what do you say, he called upon his 12 disciples and he spoke about over the Last Supper. So who painted the Last Supper?
Leonardo da
Vinci.
Leonardo da
Leonardo da
Vinci.
Vinci.
Yes, and here is something about the Last Supper for you. Okay, a very short video that I would want to show you.
Everybody please mute.
There you go. You know the drill. Go ahead.
This incredible painting was commissioned to Leonardo by the Dominican monks who owned the Santa Maria delle Grazie monastery. Leonardo took 4 years to complete it, but the result was astonishing. Leonardo managed to represent perfectly the tempest of emotions created by the unexpected announcement of Christ. One of you will betray me. It's like being there, I can assure you. As a tour guide, I've seen it so many times, yet it always moves me, because it's like a frozen emotion explosion and it has a cinematographic quality that perfectly suits our modern sensibility. The Last Supper summarizes in itself all the various aspects of the genius of Leonardo. For example, his absolute attention to detail is expressed in the realism of even the smallest objects, like the food or the crisps of a tablecloth. You can find his deep knowledge of the human nature in the different emotions he put in the faces and gestures of the apostles: rage, pain, surprise, incredulity. And try to get the subtle way in which he paints the relationship between Christ and Judas, the only two people in the room knowing the truth about the traitor, and therefore united by this painful awareness. There are so many layers of meaning and symbols and details that make it a masterwork. I could go on for hours. But beware, if you haven't booked your tickets well in advance, there is little possibility you can get to see it. Unfortunately, this is the result of the experimental technique used by Leonardo for painting the Last Supper: egg tempera on wall, which gave him spectacular artistic results, but proved very fragile over time, making the Last Supper always at risk of vanishing forever. That's why entrances have to be rigorously limited, no more than 30 people every 15 minutes, and that's why it's so difficult to find the tickets.
Okay.
I did not understand till finish. 5 more videos.
Ma'am, which one was
Videos.
Judas? The finger one?
No. Judas was the one who was going for the bowl at the same time as Christ. Okay.
The one who was betraying Christ.
Yes, the one who would betray Christ knew that he would betray Christ, and Christ himself knew. Among all the 13 members on the table of Last Supper, only 2 of them knew that they are who is going to betray Christ. All right.
So
Christ
they were
himself and
large
Judas.
enemies.
No, Judas,
How,
actually
ma'am?
the Romans paid Judas with silver coins in order to betray Christ.
So, ma'am, why did the Christ?
What would he do?
So, ma'am, why did the Christ told
He
out
would-
loud? So, ma'am,
No.
why did the Christ didn't told out loud that he is going to do this?
Because that is what Christ is known for. He is not a blabble mouth, okay? He's not a big mouth. He doesn't hold any grudges. He's very subtle, clean,
Like Ibrahim.
very, very serene. All right? Let us not pinpoint fingers on others. We are not perfect ourselves,
Ma'am,
right?
just joking, ma'am. I'm
Yes,
just.
I know. So
Ma'am,
even if
but-
it's, yes.
Ma'am, the picture he was pointing upwards.
No,
ma'am,
that was another apostle who was
Ma'am, but-
trying to ask Christ that is this the order of God? Okay. Now, Hamdan, coming to your question,
Which
uh,
order?
this order that someone is going to betray you while you will be crucified. Yes, Hamdan, what was your question?
Ma'am, I was asking that how would Judas betray Christ?
Okay, Judas would betray Christ by telling the Romans where Christ is hiding. So the Romans were supposed to go hunting for Christ, and Christ was supposed to hide somewhere. Okay, that nobody knew, so that Christ wouldn't get crucified. But Judas, out of the 12 apostles, he knew only the disciples of Christ knew where the Christ was hiding, and Judas was one of the disciples who betrayed him by going and telling the Romans that he's hiding there. So that's how the Romans caught him and they crucified him.
Ma'am, why did the Romans do this? And why did the Romans do this?
Because they did not like Christ. There were so many people and tribe who would kill their own prophets. So that's this is just one of the stories. Yeah. Yes, Ibrahim.
Ma'am, I was thinking that if Christ knew that he would betray him, so why he didn't go in the other place to hide?
Okay. In spite of the fact that Christ knew that Judas would betray him, he did not go in other place to hide, is because it was supposed to happen. That thing was supposed to. It was all a part of the God's plan.
कदर में लिखा हुआ था.
It was all part of the God's plan. Alright.
Ma'am, it was written in the Qadar.
Ma'am, so
Qadar,
ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, Jesus was not the God that time, and after he died, he became the God of the Christians.
Yes.
But
And
ma'am,
that is the
now
People mistook him as God or the Son of God.
ma'am,
They
but
called him that.
now the Romans are mostly the Christians.
Yes,
So they
now the entire, so
crucified
you
him
see the irony, the ones who were going behind to kill Christ now have become the biggest follower of Christ. That's how God works, you know. The ones who were enemy ones now have become the biggest followers. What this story reminds you of, one of the Sahabas of Prophet went out to kill him, but immediately he took Shahada as soon as he met him.
Ismail alayhi salam.
No, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Yes, he was raged with anger. He wanted to go out of the house to kill Prophet Muhammad.
Yes.
So ma'am, he
Yes.
went to his sister's house.
He
Ma'am,
went,
he went to his sister's house and
and
Yusuf
somebody
radiallahu
was teaching them, and then he became Muslim.
Yes,
He
he
went to the
immediately took
Prophet's house
Shahada.
and
Okay, so this is how God works. This is the irony. Now, here we are not
Ma'am,
focusing on
Yusuf
the
alayhi
religious
salam
class.
also, his brothers wouldn't like him, and after that, when he saw the dream, then he saw that sun and the moon and the three stars.
That's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. The
And
brothers
then,
were, in the
when-
end, they were envious of Yusuf alayhi salam. All right. So they did not, their hearts did not change. Anyway, so here we are. Now we have a brief knowledge of what the Last Supper is. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, I
Abhi.
was asking, like in Harry Potter, the wizards couldn't marry the Muggles. Same in the Sahaba stories, the Muslims couldn't marry the non-Muslims, and the non-Muslims couldn't marry the Muslims.
Right. Okay, that's a very relatable reference that you've taken. But yes, we do keep on coming across stories that overlap or have the same theme. And here we have a brief knowledge about what the Last Supper is about. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, who also happened to be the artist and the painter of the famous painting of a lady called
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Right.
Mona Lisa.
Yes, Sumaira.
ma'am,
Mona
what is
Lisa.
so much in Mona Lisa that it is that it
It's
can't be-
priceless. Yes, it's priceless. It cannot be sold or traded. All right. And one of the unique
Ma'am,
features.
like limousine. I'm like going to. It is only book for meeting. It is so mega.
Okay, now I will mute you all because all of you all are talking at the same time. Now, One of the unique features of Last Supper, children, is that Leonardo, he was not only a painter, he was a mathematician, he was a scientist, and he was an artist. So what he did was he experimented with the paints that he was using. So originally in Mona Lisa, we saw he plainly and solely used oil paints. But for the Last Supper, he experimented a little and he made tempura. Tempura is a shineless paint. Okay, it is matte. You know what is matte? It doesn't have any gloss or shine. Okay, you all must have heard of matte lipsticks. Okay, or you all must have seen it
Ma'am,
in your
I like
mother's
matte
classes.
colors.
Yes.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
like matte colors.
There are cards that are painted matte. All right, you won't believe my
And
laptop is
some are
matte.
glossy.
Yes, it's
Some
not
are
glossy,
glossy.
it's matte. All right, so to give it a matte look, he experimented and he mixed these two colors. But what it was a very beautiful painting then when it was made. But
Matte.
now what happened was it has started disappearing. Therefore, where this painting is stored, is restored in the museum, over there they do not allow more than 30 people to enter. Okay, so every 15 minutes a batch of 30 people enter, look at the painting and leave the room. Yes,
Ma'am,
Juveria.
a matte color is a type of orange.
No, matte can be any color. A color without shine is
Dark.
matte.
It's really dark.
No, it can be pastel also. It doesn't have any shine.
Mostly it is fluorescent.
Okay, you see this book. You see this book cover.
Yes.
It's not shining in the light. Okay.
It's matte.
Yes. Therefore, it's matte. But you see this mobile cover.
Yeah.
You see this light
It is
reflecting on it.
shining. Yes.
Yes. It is shining. So this is the difference between matte and glossy. Okay. Now, not only there are artists and painters across the world, in our very own country, India, we have amazing and brilliant painters. Okay, so to this class, I have brought top 10 Indian paintings, and let us take a gallery walk. Would you want to take a gallery walk with me?
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
Everybody mute.
Yes, everybody mute yourselves. All right. My screen share is
Ma'am, there
not-
are
Mute only.
in the lab.
मैम सब लोग म्यूट में ही हैं.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. The very first painting in front of you is called Bharat Mata, and it was painted by Abhinindranath Tagore. He was a nephew of Rabindranath Tagore. Everybody knows Rabindranath Tagore? You all know who he is?
no.
Yes.
No?
Freedom fighters.
Nobel Prize.
Yes, he won a Nobel Prize and
He
he's
won a
written
Nobel
our
Prize.
national anthem. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rabindranath Tagore. The Indian national anthem has been written by him. All right. And he was the one who won a Nobel Prize. He was the one who was given the title of Sir by the Britishers. And he returned that title back to them. He said, you keep your title with you, leave my country. Okay.
Ma'am,
So
what
that-
is the meaning of sir?
Sir, a very respectable position, SIR, sir, we call, right? We use it for people who we respect, sir.
VIP.
Yes, VIP.
They tell sir to Siri.
Siri or sire?
Sire.
Sire, yes. Okay. So this painting is called Bharat Mata. All right. Next. This is another top Indian painting painted by the artist herself. It is her portrait and it was painted by Amrita Shergill. Okay. So this is how the artist looks
Ma'am,
like.
her eyes look like realistic.
Yes, it is very realistic, and all I can see is beauty. The way she painted herself. Yes.
First I see that it
This is the third painting. It's called Three Pujarans. Okay, and it is painted by Jamini Roy, an Indian artist. The Three Pujarans. This
Gandhiji.
painting is called Bapuji. You can actually see the date when it was painted. 12th April
1930.
12th April 1930. It's that old. Okay, and
One day after my birthday.
yes, one day after your birthday.
बापूजी
मैम ये ऐसा लग रहा है कि बस पेपर को ऐसे करके उसने उन्होंने किया है.
No. This was a painting, okay, and it was painted by Nandlal Bose.
Ma'am, because like it's white and black.
Okay, this painting, it's called what? Krishna in the Krishna in Manali. Okay, this painting is called Krishna.
Look like Krishna.
Here is Krishna sitting under the cherry blossom tree playing his bansuri.
मैम लेकिन कृष्णा is blue मैम लेकिन कृष्णा is blue color मैम
Krishna became blue after gulping down the acid poison. Okay, before that Krishna was of the normal
उसके पीछे
color.
भी एक story है मैम
Yes. Okay, and this was not painted by an Indian. All right, it is one of the top Indian paintings, but it was not painted by an Indian. The artist's name is Nikohal Rorich. Okay.
Gohar
Yes. Who is this man? Come on, tell me. Can you identify?
Ma'am, he was
Leonardo da Vinci
Ma'am, he was from which country? The previous one. Made the painting.
Nikohal. He was from Russia.
Modi
No, this is not Modi.
Leonardo
Please.
da Vinci.
No. This is the man who.
Gandhiji.
Yes, Aisha Aga. That's the correct answer. This is Rabindranath Tagore's self-portrait that he made of himself. Okay, Rabindranath Tagore himself made a self-portrait. Yes, it's a pencil sketch. Okay, the name of this painting is Shakuntala. Okay, and the lady over here is called Shakuntala, and it was painted by Raja Ravi Verma. Okay, this is the next painting that we have, and the name of this painting is called Bindu. Why do you think it's called Bindu?
Ma'am,
क्योंकि अलग-अलग टाइप के बिंदु है उसके ऊपर
ma'am, is this mandala painting?
Yes, Mohammed Sakib.
Is this mandala painting?
Mandela painting
My bro is
Ma'am,
asking.
they put window on their head. Some people put window on their head. That's why it looks.
Very good, very good. You know, which country came up with the number 0?
America.
Ma'am, is this mandala painting?
No, it's not mandala
My
painting.
bro is asking.
No, it is not mandala painting.
India.
Which country gave the world 0?
India.
India, that's
India, zero.
right. And
Rabindranath Tagore
Abdullah Patel. Okay, India gave the world 0, and this painting has been painted by an Indian artist showing the significance of Shunya. You know what is Shunya?
शून्य एक शून्य दो
Yes,
शून्य
शून्य.
तीन
Abdullah
that the
Ani
station-
Ek Ani Do. Okay, now Shunya
अगर
this
आपको ये
painting.
चैनल सब्सक्राइब करना है तो 100-200 पर कॉल कर
I love the power of mute. Anyway, now this painting was painted by an artist called Sayyid Haider Raza. Okay,
He is a
Sayyid
Muslim.
Haider Raza. What do you think he
Yes.
is? I don't know.
Yes.
He is a man.
And he painted this called Bindu because Bindu has so much significance. It is you see a lot of there are other shapes as well. There are triangles, there are squares, there's oval. All right. But you see,
Ma'am, is this
circles
someone's
are in
password?
odd number. There is sun over here, then there is this hypnotic circle right in the center,
Ma'am,
a big
it is
one,
a password.
black hole.
Or some-
The black hole.
Yes, and then there are other circles around on the borders as well.
The blue.
Ma'am, I will make a
it is
password
all
like
very
this.
Circles are
less.
looking like a whirlpool. The blue big circles.
Right.
Ma'am,
And I
I
would
will make a
really
passport
appreciate if you respect me while I'm talking. Right. Thank you.
Appreciate,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, I do appreciate and respect you. But I don't know whether you respect me back or not.
Ma'am, I'm telling that you should appreciate, ma'am, that
Yes.
he is showing us so nicely.
Okay, you should. Okay, children should appreciate that I'm showing you nice paintings. Thank you, friend. Anyway, so this was painted by Sayyid Raza, and he wanted to show the world the significance of zero, shunya, and he named it as Bindu because it is also a part of our culture where women they put bindis on their head. Okay, this is a another famous painting painted by Tayyab Mehta. All right, and he is basically showing. No, not Tarak Mehta, Tayyab Mehta. All right. And he is basically showing the mythological story and culture that we have in India on a demon called Mahesh Asura. Okay. So this is how he's painted the story. You can barely see any figures, but it holds the entire story of Mahesh Asura from the Hindu mythology.
But what is that white and that green?
It's a man entangled between the cow's hoof and his leg.
Oh, it's Indian mythology. I don't want to learn.
Yes. Now,
Ma'am,
how did you find all those paintings? Come on.
ma'am, Bindu say I remembered a joke.
Okay. Now, what I want you all to do is before we move ahead with the session any further,
there is one more painting.
can you everybody? I want everybody's videos on. Number one, and I want all of you all to be muted. Okay. When I ask a question and you wish to answer, you raise your hand. Okay, and I come to you. I call out your name, you unmute yourself and you answer. Yes, why are we forgetting the ground rules of the class? Come on. Yes, Yahya Rizwani. Go ahead. Yeah, you are not very audible, Bacha. Can you, I don't know, mute and unmute yourself again? Anybody else? How did you find the gallery walk? Come on, it was a very virtual gallery walk. How was it?
One
Ma'am.
more painting.
Who's raising the hand? Let me see who's raising hand. Okay, Juveria already gave her response by giving a thumbs up. Aisha Aga, go ahead. Yes, Aisha.
Ma'am, it was looking like we are sitting and the elevator is taking us to the painting.
Okay, so you had that virtual feel. Excellent, Aisha. Mute yourself. Thank you for your response.
now?
Yes, yeah. Now I can hear you. I'll come back to you.
After Yaya,
No.
ma'am, I was telling that the last picture that the Asura there is a series on that the Asur type. Asur.
Okay, Asuras in Hindi we call them as demons. Okay, so yes, yeah, that is one very good observation. All right, let me see. Aisha Qazi. Omar, if you do not follow, I will not acknowledge. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, the paintings you showed us were very beautifully painted.
Okay, it was very beautiful. So, what did you feel? Next question to you is, what did you feel after you saw these paintings? Come on. Let me see who raises the hand. Okay. I have Umar Sharif raised his hand.
Ma'am, there
Yes.
is one more painting.
What? Which painting?
Ibrahim Bhai's painting.
Ibrahim Rizwani's painting. Okay. We would like that. I will come to, let me see who's raising hand. We have Abdullah Patel. Go ahead. And then we have Humaira. Okay. After Abdullah, Humaira will speak.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I felt like it was some kind of it was making sense in real stories, like ma'am. It was making sense in real stories.
Very good. Abdullah could relate from those paintings to real stories. Okay, that was the connection he was making, and that's marvelous. It's excellent. Humaira, coming to you, child.
Ma'am, the stories, the the pictures are very nice and the drawing is very nice. It is looking real drawing.
Oh, it was very much real. Those were real paintings. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, did you find it interesting? Like, was it fun watching these paintings?
Ma'am.
Hamdan?
Ma'am, I liked it 50-50.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Hamdan says it was fun watching paintings. Why? Why? Mohammed Saqib. Mohammed Saqib says 50-50. Why?
I don't know. I don't like that much painting.
I'm 25 by
Yeah, ma'am,
Okay,
it
now
was
here
not.
we are giving ratios about our liking.
Ma'am, it was not motivational that much.
It wasn't motivation. Very good, Abdullah. Why do you think it wasn't that motivation?
it was feeling like cultural painting.
Jumeria. Okay.
Ma'am, the paintings look very simple, but actually, that artist put a lot of effort to make.
Perfect. Though it looked simple to our eyes, there was a lot of efforts put into it. Okay, we have a full stop raising their hand. I don't know who that child is. I'm assuming it's Rushda. Go ahead, speak, Rushda.
I like the stories and everything, but I don't like the paintings are a bit bizarre, and I appreciate the colors too.
Okay, why? Was there anyone who found it boring?
No,
Like
it was not
A
boring.
little bit.
It's too
A little
boring
bit.
to visit the museums and watch the paintings.
little
Mohammed, tell me, you raised your hand and I saw you, and then you quickly kept your hand down. Come on, but I saw that. I'm not going to ignore it. Come on, you have to answer. Why do you think these paintings were boring, Mohammed? What was boring about watching paintings?
sense.
Okay, it's because he says it did not make any sense to him.
Ma'am,
Right?
Ma'am, the paintings are nonsense.
And raise your hand. That's the rule.
Ma'am, the paintings are nonsense.
The paintings are nonsense. So are we really going to disregard
Why
the
did
artist's
that?
hard work?
Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, I have a question about it.
Ma'am,
Yes,
I'm
Mohammed.
raising my hand.
Why did that painter make that paintings for no reason? For showing everyone, see, I made one painting.
Because that painter
Okay.
is a
1 minute. Mohammed Saqib, I'll answer your question if you answer my question. Why do teachers teach for no reason when the students don't want to learn?
Ma'am, it's not for no reason.
What's the reason?
Reason?
same way the artist
painted
because of no reasons. Artist means artist.
Okay, does that,
it is
does
very
that
nice.
cost anything?
Sorry?
Does that painting cost anything?
Yes.
How much?
It is
How
in
much?
the museum. You don't know.
They
Is that
have
painting?
exhibition. They have exhibition. Now
see that?
I will tell you.
Are there paintings in the museum?
Yes.
The paintings which
There are.
you showed
Yes.
us.
And the paintings
you know,
hold a lot of
ma'am,
stories
when I
behind it. Ibrahim, I'm talking. And those stories, the paintings hold a lot of stories behind it. Mohammed Saqib, they're not just painted for fun, just because the artist thought that we should paint it. Okay, and they hold a lot of history. Now, for example, the who all remembers Gureka? Gureka painting by Pablo Picasso.
Gureka?
Ma'am, I remember.
The German and the Nazis.
Ma'am,
Who
I
remember
remember.
those paintings?
Ma'am, I remember.
Yes.
There was
Yes.
a story behind the painting. Same way the stories are behind the painting. Indian mythology full. The man who was caught inside the demons. The series
The
of
bull and the demon. The man was entangled with the bull and the demon. All right. There was Krishna sitting under the tree, showing the culture and the mythological background India holds.
Ma'am, I was feeling like I am seeing all the cultures of India. It was a fortune to tell that, but you told to mute me. Ma'am, so I muted. Ma'am, we went to Manali in the
Yes. If you've not visited Manali, you see how Manali looks like during winters. Yes, and
virtual
spring.
tour.
You don't know how much
Javeria.
effort they put.
Ma'am,
Yes.
some people paint their paintings, but some people think that there is of no value, but there is a story behind it. It could be a sad story for their family or something related to them.
Perfect.
And we
There
don't know
couldn't have been any better way of explaining or giving an answer to Mohammed Saki's
No
question.
judgment is
Thank
there
you,
in
Javeria.
arts.
Thank you so much. Okay, now this artist cannot help and keep his mouth shut. The artist in Ibrahim is boiling inside.
Ma'am, I am not.
How
I'm just
dare you
saying.
call the artist stupid?
That
Okay,
day
there he
when
is.
the moon and the night was there, I made such a bad painting, but I was not ashamed a bit also. I just sent it in my Google Classroom with my face.
Wow.
There's no one to
Wow.
judge. Shabana auntie just told there is no one to judge.
Perfect.
That I
Oh my
decided.
God, this just keeps on getting better and better. How I love when you're speakers. Oh, it just proves that you all are very good human beings, and I'm proud of you all. Trust me, I'm proud. I'm
It's all because of Muhammad Sakir.
Ibrahim Rizwan.
There he is.
All
Abdullah.
because of Muhammad Sakir.
All because of Muhammad Sakir.
Okay, what I did.
Ma'am, I will advertise Ibrahim Rizwani for his motivation.
You become
speaking.
okay. We will put Abdullah in the PR team. When Ibrahim becomes a famous artist, he will need a team, okay? And we will put Abdullah in the PR
I
team.
will also become a artificial intelligence programmer like my father does.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to watch that. Okay, so
Like
we
JPEGs
saw-
and artworks.
yes, Humaira,
Ma'am, we are not doing activity.
we are doing activity, but I can't help and listen to everybody. They have so many interesting things to tell that even I want to know what it is all about. So this time of 40 to 50 minutes is so less for us, right? Anyway,
Can I say
Ma'am, I
something?
wanted to say I was raising my hand from so long. When I went to Hyderabad, I went to Salarjung Museum. Now I saw some beautiful arts with the elephants' tusks, ma'am. They made boats and all. They were and they made some weapons also, but they were all made of glass.
I agree. All right. Now, you know what? One session I will request and we'll keep it only for you all sharing your experiences and stories of travel, okay? Behind the travel stories that you all have, those experiences we'll share and we'll keep one entire session where only you all speak and I will not talk. I will not utter a single word. All right. Now, moving ahead, I have a girl, I know a girl named Rumi. She's from Italy. All right. And Rumi decided to, she wanted to look like Mona Lisa. She saw the painting and she was so impressed that she wanted to look like Mona Lisa.
Aisha's
What do you think will Rumi need, or what makeup does she require in order to look like Mona Lisa? Come on, who will tell me?
Ma'am,
She
she will just make a pose.
long hair.
Ma'am,
She needs
I
to
request
grow
please
long
mute
hair.
everybody whoever raises her hand.
Yes, the ones who are going to raise their hands will get to answer, definitely. But before I give chance, I want Batul to speak. Batul, go ahead. Tell me, what do you think will Rumi need in order to look like Mona Lisa? What makeup does she need to do?
Ma'am,
Batul.
Ma'am, what was the question?
Okay, the question, I'll repeat myself. We have this girl called Rumi. She's an Italian girl, and she was so impressed by Mona Lisa's painting that she decided that I want to look like Mona Lisa. So what makeup do you think she needs in order to look like Mona Lisa?
Ma'am, can I?
Are you Batul? I want Batul to answer. Go ahead, Batul. For that, I'll make things simpler. I'll show you the painting of Mona Lisa. There she is, Mona Lisa.
ma'am, I can't see. It's still loading.
Yes, ma'am, it's still loading. Ma'am, can you
Now can you see? There she is.
Yeah.
This is Mona Lisa,
Long
the
hair.
very famous lady that we know. Batul, go ahead. What do you think Rumi needs? Mohammed Zakir, mute yourself.
She needs Mona Lisa.
Okay, whoever answers will be called Batul now. I want only Batul to answer. Go ahead.
Doesn't need a makeup to be a Mona Lisa.
Okay, Batul says Rumi doesn't need makeup at all to be Mona Lisa. Why? Who will tell me why?
Can I
She's
say please,
beautiful.
please?
Because
She's beautiful.
she's beautiful the way she is. You can see very bare or no makeup on her face, on Mona Lisa's face at all, right?
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, Hamza. Hamza hasn't spoken for a while now, and I would really love to hear from him. Go ahead, Hamza.
Zumi really does not need any makeup.
Zoomi nahi, Rumi. Zoom is from Aisha's story. Yes.
She does not need makeup to look like Mona Lisa. She need the information how she used to behave. You can't look like anyone till you know how is the gesture of her.
Wow. Excellent, Hamza. That is a very good answer. Don't go ma'am in the mic.
Ma'am, I want to
Last my
say
year one day.
Ma'am, I want to say something.
Rushda has
Ma'am,
raised
can I
her
tell
hand.
something?
I'll give her chance. And after that, I'll come to Mohammed Saqib.
To look like Mona Lisa, she needs a surgery, a plastic surgery.
Oh my God, that's like transforming oneself into complete Mona Lisa. No, she doesn't want to look like Mona Lisa permanently. All right, let me reframe my question. She just wants to look like Mona Lisa for a certain period of time because she was so impressed by the painting that she thought that maybe when I want to look that way, you know.
I have a logical answer.
Okay, Mohammed
Then
Saqib,
maybe she
coming
can
to you.
paint a
Ma'am,
portrait of herself.
मैम
Okay.
अल्लाह ने उसको जैसा बनाया वैसा ही रहेंगी.
मेरे मौलाना ठीक है. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a logical answer. Can I say please?
Anas, I would really love to hear from
Anas
Anas.
not
Chalo,
Ibrahim.
he hasn't spoken from a while. Anas, bolo beta. Chalo, Batul said कि makeup नहीं चाहिए. She doesn't want makeup. What else?
She has to keep long hair.
Anas, are you Anas? Anas, picture देखो ना. Look at the painting over here of Mona Lisa and tell me, if Rumi wants to look like her, is it only the makeup that she needs?
Ma'am,
or
I
the
have
other
a very
things?
good answer. I have a very good answer.
Trust me, child, all the answers that you'll give are excellent. They are not only good, they are excellent and they are quite logical. Okay. Clothes, very good, Anas. She needs clothes. She needs a trans net veil over her head. She needs this. I will call it a dupatta. I will call it a dupatta. She needs a flared gown like the 90s clothes. Very good, Abdullah Patel. There he is with his answer. Okay. So that is, now we've helped Rumi decide how, she would look like Mona Lisa. But when I say Rumi was an Italian girl, what else do you know about Italy? Apart from the fact that we get pizza in Italy. Yes. Is there anything that you know about Italy?
She might
Ma'am, Italy has discovered Italy has discovered ice cream.
Mohammadi.
Ma'am,
Da Vinci was from Italy.
he said Italy is natural.
Okay, he says Leonardo da Vinci was from Italy. Aisha Aga, yes.
Ma'am, they drive like this in Italy. They talk when they
They
drive.
talk like that. Okay, Aisha thinks that they talk like that in Italy, but no, Aisha. If Italians have to say something about Hindi, they'll say Indians talk like.
When they're driving and there's a lot of rides and they do like that.
Okay. Italiano.
Italy.
You know, there is this famous building in Italy called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not
Yes,
pizza.
it is
Not
leaning
pizza,
like
Pisa.
this.
Yes. So
It is leaning like
Ma'am,
this.
can I tell why it is Tera?
I have a video. Let us all find out. Okay, I have a very good video to show you all, and we will see together.
Mute.
Please mute.
Please mute.
Pisa.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
What a beautiful day. It's just perfect weather to... Wait, is that tower leaning? Or is that just the camera angle? Oh, your eyes aren't tricking you. This tower really is leaning. In this video, we are going to learn all about this unique tower, known as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, that is pronounced Pisa. It is Italian, so the S is pronounced like a Z, and the I sounds like E. Think of a P like a green pea, and then say za. Pisa. It almost sounds like pizza, doesn't it? Can you imagine just a leaning tower of pizza, a huge slice of pizza just leaning there, and people would visit and be like, I want to eat it, but if I eat it, the tower will go away. What do we do? Do we eat it or look at it? We don't know. The Leaning Tower of Pisa can also just be called the Tower of Pisa, but many people call it the Leaning Tower of Pisa because that is what it is most famous for. We are going to call it the Leaning Tower of Pisa throughout this video, but just know if you wanted to, you could just call it the Tower of Pisa, and that works too. Alright, so where is this tower? Where can you find it? The Leaning Tower of Pisa is in the country of Italy. Here is what the country of Italy looks like. It's shaped like a boot, isn't it? The country is colored in with the colors of the Italian flag. Green, white, and red. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is an Italian landmark. As you might guess from the name, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is in the city of Pisa, right here on the map of Italy. Isn't that cool? Do you see it on the map? That's where Pisa is. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is behind Pisa Cathedral and was built to be the bell tower of the cathedral. One of the main purposes of bell towers, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, is to let people know when there are special occasions at the cathedral or in the community. Okay, it's time to answer a question you might be asking. How did the tower get like that? It wasn't purposefully done, was it? No, they didn't do it on purpose, though they knew early on that there was a big problem with the tower. When they were building it at the second floor, it started to sink into the ground. Uh-oh, that's not good. You don't want a building to start sinking. You just don't want it. You just don't want it. The foundation of the tower, which is the very bottom of the tower where it connects to the ground, was on really bad soil. After taking a long break in construction, they finally finished the tower, including the part with the bells, in the year 1372. That means the Leaning Tower of Pisa is really old. It was completed about 650 years ago. Woo! About 650 years ago. Unfortunately, the leaning got worse, and starting in 1993, they worked on the tower to make sure it will be safe and stand for many years to come. In this picture taken in the year 1998, huge weights made out of lead are being used to help the tower not lean as much. Those are a lot of weights. After 8 years, the tower is safer and isn't leaning quite as much as it was before, but it is still leaning. Experts believe the Leaning Tower of Pisa will be safe for at least 200 years, so you don't have to worry about anything happening to this tower anytime soon. In fact, it is so safe that if you visit, you can buy tickets and walk up the tower. That's right. With around 295 steps, it will give you lots of exercise and give you great views of the area. You can see a picture of the stairs here. They look different from many of the stairs you might be used to climbing. They have rules. You have to be at least 8 years old to go up the stairs. They have rules about how many people can be in the tower at a time, and you do have to be super careful, especially walking down the stairs. Hey, do you think you would ever like to climb the stairs of this famous bell tower? Okay, alright. Here are people at the top of the tower. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is about 183 feet high, which means you can see a great distance. The view is so beautiful here. Let's show you. This is one of the views from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Well worth all those steps. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, an unforgettable bell tower in Italy and one that will stand for many years to come. Oh, and just for the record, I really would like to visit a Leaning Tower of Pizza. I know that's different than the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but, if you know anyone who makes pizza, could we go ahead and do that? Okay? Thanks.
Okay. So the man clearly was interested in pizza rather than pizza, but he did give us a lot of information about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You think it's interesting?
What
You
is
think it's interesting to know?
What is cathedral?
Ma'am,
Cathedral is church. It's a Catholic church. Yeah. Yes, Umar.
ma'am, we should put water on the stairs from the top and slide down.
The water will twirl all the way down on the floor. Okay.
Ma'am.
I don't see Rushta. Rushta, I would really love to see your beautiful face. Why is it that you're hiding from me today? Come on.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I saw the building थोड़ी सी टेढ़ी थी.
ताड़ी थी ना. So that is the peculiar feature of leaning. That's the reason it's called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I told you I want to tell, and so you, and you showed the video. I knew that because I saw it in the bright side.
You saw it? Okay. You
Ma'am, I have a
already
question.
seen it. Go ahead, Hamza. Go ahead, ask.
Ma'am, why is it called the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Okay, number one, it's located in a place called Pisa. Okay, and second, while they built this second floor, the soil was very soft. Therefore, it started leaning towards one side.
Ma'am, because they
Thus, people started calling it a Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Ma'am, they love pizza. That's why they keep it pizza.
Good if we go
No, it will not fall on us is because earlier it had started leaning to a very great extent, okay? And they did not want the tower to fall on somebody's head, okay, walking by down the tower. So what they did was they took huge stones and they built a support, okay? So the ground and the first floor are like, they have support. The Leaning Tower has a support and therefore it is not going to lean any further, okay? So up till 200 years, that tower is safe. That's what they say. Yes.
they can't see the future, ma'am.
Let's right?
They believe
Ledge, yes, the ledge.
They
Up to
believe
now, सबके प्लान पे पानी फेरने वाले जब
the Maulana Saab. Future
Maulana.
किसको नहीं पता ना.
No, definitely there is no lie in what he says, but I really
But
love
the
the way
experts
the
believe,
Jazbati way
the
the Jazbati way he puts his points across. Okay, now I have a task for you. Oh, it's the end of class. No problem.
Bye.
Go ahead. I'll give it to you as a homework. What you have to do is, everybody knows Mona Lisa.
Ma'am, tell the exam.
There's no exam for life still. Your life will be an exam. Your life will start right after you leave Golden Sparrow. That is your exam for life skill. Let me see how well you handle it, all right? And your assignment would be, you have to go on Google, search for a picture of Mona Lisa, all right? And I want you to sketch Mona Lisa of your own. You will draw Mona Lisa.
Ma'am, I am very bad artist,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Ma'am,
matter.
Ma'am, I have
Instead of a human, ma'am, instead of a human, I draw an animal.
No problem. I want that animal. We'll name it Mona Lisa. Doesn't matter. I love this.
Best
I love the
idea.
reaction. Now I would also
Best
want to
idea.
see. Listen, point number one for the
Best
assignment.
idea. Take a
You-
printout and color it and show it to teacher.
No, that is not. Oh, no. That's cheating. That's cool. Din dahade cheating. I would not accept it. Okay.
Ma'am, can I only sketch it? No.
Yes, only sketch, no coloring. Only sketching, no coloring. Number one, it doesn't have to be perfect. I understand you are not Leonardo da Vinci. I know I am not Leonardo da Vinci. I don't expect that kind of work from you.
Ma'am, I saw an ad. Leonardo da Vinci was painting with his red daddy.
Just take any normal paper, try sketching Mona Lisa. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Ma'am, I will go on YouTube and write how to draw Mona Lisa. Then I
Listen to me,
draw it
ma'am,
simple
please.
like that.
I will tell you.
Ma'am, I saw an ad in that Leonardo da Vinci came. He was painting with his separate dadiya.
Yes, I heard you, Ibrahim. Okay.
Alfia ma'am, only Ibrahim bhai will make.
No. Everybody has to make. I want to
Ma'am,
see your drawing. You
I
will
am very
upload it
bad
on
at-
Google Classroom in live skill. I'm going to put the assignment right now.
Ma'am, I will
Not
show
many-
my sketching of a girl. Ma'am, now more than two. Only the host can share.
I have realized that not many people from the class have joined the live skill classroom on Google. I'll share the code again. Okay. So do join in the live skill class on Google. Sketch your Mona Lisas and upload it. Okay. Before we meet for the next class, I have 3 students who tried making Mona Lisa, and I'm going to show you their painting in the next class. So it will be fun. Okay. Go ahead, chalo. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.